All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Spike Kool-Aid for November the 8th, 2022. What a day. Woke up today with just a little more pain than usual. So I guess that's what happens when you get a little bit older. But welcome everybody to the show. It is Victory Tuesday, man. We celebrating this thing all week long because we usually don't win. And winning is what it's all about. I don't know why when I started talking on this podcast, I started having to clear my throat, but it's all good. What's up? What's up, Ramirez? What's going on, man? Winning is everything. You know, we got a lot to talk about today. We got a Jameson Williams update. We also have Dan Campbell's job security. Maybe was that win? How big was that win for Dan Campbell? We also have tanking. What is that all about? And the fact that the Detroit Lions are in this thing, man. The Detroit Lions are not out of it yet. Carolina kid in the building. What's up, Dave? What's going on, man? Appreciate you calling in the other day. That was fantastic. Enjoyed that conversation. But we got quite a bit of stuff to talk about today, man. Listen, yesterday, I didn't think it was going to go like that. So listen, I'm going to tell all my parents out there, if you have a child, all right, when that child is born, I want you to go and start a orthodontic fund, because you, no matter what, unless you got the insurance that pays everything with no pay of your own, then you need to have a orthodontist fund, bro. Because when that orthodontist bill hit, you gonna be when that orthodontist hit, you gonna utter 3 words. Oh my God! That's all you gonna say, bro. When that orthodontic bill hit and you get that consultation, you gonna be ready, bro. NFL kid, I know that, man. I'm not talking to you. But listen, let's get into this thing. The Lions beat the Green Bay Packers, right? And all I heard, I'm going to tell y'all, watching it, okay, so it's 2 ways that you feel watching the game. You watch the game and you say, if we lose, it's going to go this way. If we win, it's going to go that way. And I can tell you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that winning is the best feeling. Tanking, losing, none of that stuff. I don't know how anybody could want to do that. Have to sit through the misery of your team losing week after week after week. And then the backlash that comes with that. For instance, Annie Agger, she's a big kind of Twitter person. I think she works for Valley Sports. She seems like a nice young lady. She's a Packers fan. And every single week, she takes a dig at every team, not just the Lions. So she has a meeting where she talks about, kind of storylines throughout the NFL. And she's a Packers fan. So for her to lose today, her skit today wasn't as rough as it would have been if the Lions lost, right? So for me, winning is what matters more than anything else. Period. All right? So it was something I heard yesterday, and let me do this because I think this is a good kind of jumping off point to this segment. All right, so it was something I saw yesterday, and for those of you who know, this is why I exist in this platform. A couple of years ago, I called myself the Black Mike Valenti, because Mike Valenti is for those of you who don't know, he is a radio host here locally in the state of Michigan. And he is not a Michigan native. He is not a fan of our teams. He is a New York Giant fan, okay? And Mike Valenti is like a cancer in the sports realm when it comes to Detroit. Now, some of the stuff he says is facts, all right? Some of the stuff that he says is facts, but a lot of it I think is there just to have something to talk about, just to have something where it's like to be combative. Now, if you watch Woodward Sports, Terry Foster was Mike Valenti's co-host for the longest time. The longest time until Terry had an issue. I think it was a health related. He had to retire. He tried to come back, just wasn't working. He was out of it for a while, and then he popped back up on Woodward Sports. Where Mike Valenti, now he's got this sidekick. His name is Rico. So the show is literally called The Mike Valenti Show with Rico, right? And Mike Valenti is a His job is to rip anything Lions. Now, there is some rumors from a while ago that him and the Ford organization don't get along, and that could be true. But yesterday, he said something that kind of really bothered me, and this is what I'll be talking about as far as tanking, right? He said that Lions fans were calling in to 97 Won a Ticket on Friday, and they wanted their team to lose so they can ensure a better draft pick, right? Now, I'll remind you what the LA Rams GM said last year. He said, forget them picks, except he didn't say it like that. He said, forget them picks after they won the Super Bowl in 2021, right? So Mike Valenti says that Lions fans, they don't know how to feel because their team won, that they wanted tanking, okay? That's what they wanted, but they were conflicted because they won. And I'm saying to myself, Theo, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Period. Winning is what you do. Herm Edwards uttered the most quotable quote in NFL history. You play to win the game. Hello, you play to win the game. Why else are we here? We're not here to tank. Now, this video is 11 minutes, and if I played it, I would put it in double speed. But what irks me about Mike Valenti is he speaks the truth a lot, but he is very biased against our teams because he's not a fan, right? And fans can be biased, but he is biased beyond belief, okay? Now, that brings me up to tanking. Y'all know that I hate the word tanking. I cannot stand the word tanking. Deion Sanders refuses to coach as of now in the National Football League because he doesn't want to see professional players getting paid millions of dollars underperforming, being lazy, right? Tanking is not a thing. David says, can we listen to the video? You sure can. I wanted to play it, but if I play it, it's going to be in double speed, all right? And this segment is already long enough. So here's what I'll do. Hold on, Dave. Let me start a new segment because I didn't know if y'all was going to want to hear the video. So I'll just start from this point and make this a segment. All right, so we are talking about Mike Valenti and tanking. 97 Won a Ticket. We already went over that, who Mike Valenti is, what he's doing in this city, why he's here, and what his job is. His job is to be very, in my opinion, overly critical of the team, right? But this isn't about him. This is about us as fans. Are you happy that the Detroit Lions won a game, okay? And this is one of the reasons that I came up in this space. I came up in this space because of dialogue like this. So I am going to play this in double speed, all right? Because it's an 11-minute video, and this segment will be way too long. So here's what Mike Valenti had to say, him and his sidekick Rico, about playing and winning on Saturday, how fans had to feel. So like I said, be ready. It will be in 2x speed.
I'll tell you, Friday, we had the Spike store open. Everybody told me you were rooting against the Lions, that you were done, that you were ready for draft pick-a-palooza. So naturally, what do? They go out, but they don't win.
Let me say something real quick. That buzz that you hear on the left side of your headphones, that is from their atrocious sound. That has nothing to do with my system.
Simple. It's complex. It's convoluted. It requires discussion. But here's what I want to do. And I said this to all the guys yesterday. I texted everybody, here's your topic. I need you to tell me how the hell I'm supposed to feel about what I witnessed yesterday, which was bar none one of the worst football games I've ever watched at the professional level. It was an atrocity. And I'm sitting here, and even though Dan Campbell did his best to lose the game, they won the game. So you talk about setting your culture and you got to win to do it, and you're like, this is good. But then you're doing it in spite of your coach because his decisions are often idiotic. This is bad. And you're like, all right, well, our defense played great, except it was against the Pop Warner offense, and then your offense was a horse's ass. And you sit here and you go, how am I supposed to feel? I sit here and I know how I feel, but I don't know if I'm right in feeling it. I know I'm not comfortable with Dan Campbell. I know the 4th and inches empty set early on was idiocy. And I know the decision to go for it late and giving Aaron Rodgers half a field, ergo multiple shots at the end zone at the end of the game, was also idiocy. And yet they won in spite of it, so I should feel happy. But wait, I don't. So you're not the only one. No, and this is the genesis of the topic. You said it. Post-game, you texted me. Mike, people don't know what to do. No. They don't know what to do.
They were uncomfortably satisfied. That was the word that I came up with. We won, but you could tell that they were ready to be angry. Their fists were balled up, and they were frustrated, and they were mad, and it was like, yeah, we won, but God, we still suck. And like, guys,
You know what that was yesterday? Yeah, if you call up and you go, we won, nothing else matters. That's the equivalent of saying you drove drunk, but you got home safe. It doesn't make it a good decision.
You get the slow clap right there, my friend. You get a, you know what? You get a no flag. You can do something egregious, and I'm not flagging you.
All right, I got one in my pocket.
You know what? That was an excellent analogy. You drove home wasted.
But got away with it.
And you got away with it. You didn't crash your car.
And you think
cop
you're going to
pulled
act
you
all
over.
proud about it.
Right.
No, it's a terrible decision.
Yeah. Because
you could have killed somebody.
the team bailed out the coach yesterday.
Yep. Well,
Starting
and the Packers' injuries did.
Well, that too. And Aaron Rodgers. But starting from early on the first drive, instead of just taking 3 early in the game, start the game off with some points. No, let's go for it. You lose it. And in Green Bay, they were toying with you, and it didn't pay off. I'm sitting there watching the game with Rieger, and the one where it looked like the Packers scored, and I'm like, if I was Green Bay, I would probably challenge that because I think he scored. And that's when they ended up throwing that first interception. Like, see, that's why you challenge that play early on. This was just overall, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Sure. It wasn't a great win. You got it. You can't be proud of it, but you did get the win. But remember, your coach, it's the fact that you decided, instead of letting the punter, the highest paid punter in the NFL, punt the ball, pin Green Bay deep. Offense has been struggling. You went for it at, the 45-yard line? You gave Aaron Rodgers the ball back with 2 minutes and half a field to go. I don't think that there's not one coach in the NFL that would agree with Dan Campbell and say, that was a great idea.
No, hold on, I disagree. Sean McDermott, if you have Josh Allen. Andy Reid was a genius with Mahomes. There are instances where I could say yes.
Let me go back. If you're a bottom 15 team, there's no way you're doing that.
And I'll give you the other one that's egregious, and I'll fight people tooth and nail on it. 4th and inches, and you're an empty set. What are you doing? Yeah. What are you doing? The strength of your team's the O-line. Jamal Williams has done a nice job. What are we doing?
Well, I thought, like, is this possibly a quarterback sneak? Like, just go empty set, move everybody out, and let the Packers think, oh my God, they're drunk, and he just runs up the middle.
But here's the problem, guys. Friday, everybody was done. Everybody wanted them to lose. You were ready for draft pick-a-palooza. You were done. So now my question is, how do you process it when they do the most Lions thing ever, which is win? And they didn't win impressively, and they didn't win, and it was wildly entertaining. It was a slog. And you're like, okay, well, the defense wasn't terrible, and you're right. You were the benefactor of some breaks. Ball bouncing off a helmet or whatever. Who cares? But it's like, first play of the game, the Packers throw an 18-yard pass to Romeo Doubs. Dead. Bakhtiari, dead. Aaron Jones, dead. Hey, you're sitting there and you're going, well, damn, they should stop this team. None of these people are pros. I just feel like if you're done with Dan Campbell, that ain't good for you. And
it wasn't a good look for him at all.
No, and for the people who are like, hey, I'm ready to go get a quarterback and all this jazz, all right, I need you to tell me how I'm supposed to feel about that win. I told you I was done. I'm actively rooting against them. I hope they don't win a game the rest of the year. I've gone from being optimistic about them to hating them. And the Dan Campbell thing, I'm done with it. And yesterday, he drove home drunk and got away with it. Doesn't make it a good decision. Dan Campbell's going to kill you. Him and his in-game management, God help us if we ever get players here and this team starts winning games. You know what Dan Campbell's going to do? He's going to F the pooch. He's going to F you in the worst possible way, in the biggest possible game, because this dude can't run a game.
You'll probably need a quarterback or somebody who will just override and like, you know what, I'll take the heat.
You mean what Rodgers did yesterday? Did you see that play? When he changed the play at the goal line, and you could see LaFleur going, what the F? He changed it. I think it was supposed to be a run. He throws the fade route.
Was that the one to Bakhtiari?
No. Later in the game, when they had the 4 cracks.
Oh.
Rodgers changed that play.
Okay, yeah, that didn't make sense. Because I was like, okay, that was a wasted play.
Hey, and the coverage was there, but it also helped the receiver on the right route. Yeah. The point is, how are we supposed to feel about it? You won in spite of your coach. And, guys, I got to be honest. Now, if you don't want Campbell and you want the quarterback or you want Will Anderson, I have bad news for you. You can't win a game the rest of the year. Texans are going to pass you. Carolina's going to pass you. And the worst case scenario is you end up drafting 3rd. You don't get Anderson, you don't get Bryce Young. And then you're left with OSU system quarterback we're not sold on, Will Levis or whatever. So, hey, if you're all in on the win, tell me why.
Don't slander C.J. Stroud.
I don't want to.
Yeah, you told me how bad Jaden Daniels was going to be.
I don't like Jaden Daniels.
Well, you just said he can't win.
He can't.
He pulled it off.
He's a good college quarterback, but like he was so bad at ASU, his teammates bleeped in his locker.
Well,
come on.
Mistakes were made.
Exactly.
See, here's the thing, fellas. All year, we've been talking about how bad the defense has been. We've been talking about Campbell going for it on 4th down because it seems in certain situations he doesn't trust his defense. Well, while the Packers did not look good offensively, part of that was due to the Lions defense. The Lions defense actually forced turnovers. They actually looked decent. And at the end of the game, when you have an opportunity to tell your defense, I trust you, I'm going to punt this ball, and I'm going to trust that you can win this game for us. You've been playing well, keep it going. Instead, you decide to go for it on 4th down and give them a short field to defend. They got it done in the end, but you cannot continue to make those decisions. Campbell, in my mind,
he's a train wreck.
The players can't trust him anymore. While they go out there and play for him, they can't trust that he's going to put them in the right position. Can't be. The defense has to look at him and say, dude, we've been playing well all game, and you do this to us? Can't work.
Defense is very opportunistic. I mean, geez. The amount of bad throws around the goal line were just there. I mean, when Aiden's touchdown looked like he was the receiver. It's like, Aaron, what are you doing? But you're right. When all your young guys step up and they really go out there and they ball out and they show Aaron Glenn and he's all fired up and, yeah, your coach can't get out of his own way because his decisions were just like, just take the 3 points early in the game.
No. If you're not going to take the 3 points, you can't be an empty set with Jared Goff.
Right.
That's not Josh Allen. That's not Justin Fields. I mean, what are we doing here?
And then I don't even know who to blame, but if you get the ball to start the second half, just go ahead and say, you know what, we don't want it. You're going to intercept it anyway. 6 times this year, they've turned the ball over coming out of the half. It's like clockwork.
So again, if you're listening and you're nodding your head, let's have that conversation. If you're listening and you're balling your fists like one of these LeBron memes, look, tell me why. Tell me why you're celebrating it when Friday it was unanimous, everybody was done. You know?
And there you go. And for me, listen, I agree with a couple things that he said. First of all, Rico is like I don't know what, it's like LeBron James, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. Rico is Scottie Pippen. Sorry about the buzz. That was their audio. I don't understand how you are a radio station and you have a buzz. Somebody needs to listen. Whooper Sports, to me, has horrendous audio as well. I don't understand that. All right. So my thing is this. You heard them. What I agree on is this. The fourth down, I think it's got to be better play calling. I said the same thing as I was watching the game, that if this dude is, why are we in an empty set against one of the best kind of pass defense in the league, right? Why are we in an empty set? Jamal Williams, somebody should have been back there to block. I do agree with that. I do agree with Jared Goff having to clean up his turnovers, 100%. What I do not agree with is tanking. You play to win the game. You play to win the game. And what offends me, folks in the chat, is that we would rather root for the Detroit Rams than root for our team to not pick in the top 10. Right? Just think about that. What's up, Zay? That's facts. That's facts. Says empty set with Goff to pass for a first is a horrible play call. It's a lot of that going on. And I don't know if that falls on Ben Johnson or if that falls on the head coach. Whoever it falls on, they need to clean that up. But if you are watching this on playback, you're watching the video of this segment, are you upset that the Lions won a game? Are you upset that the Lions, to me, that is dumb. And we've talked about this at length about why winning is important. Losing sets the trend. Winning sets a different one, right? We all complain about what losing feels like, yet we're upset. Some fans are. Some fans are upset, but I don't understand. And my philosophy since I've been on YouTube has been this. This is my quote. If you want your team to lose, don't be mad when they do. If you want your team to lose, don't be upset when they do. You can't call for Dan Campbell's job. He could call the dumbest game you've ever seen. He could go for it on every single fourth down. He could never kick a field goal. He could blitz every play. You cannot be upset if you want your team to lose, and then they do. Winning feels fantastic. Isn't it so much better to win? Isn't the week a little bit quicker? Isn't the sun a little bit brighter? Isn't your day a whole lot better because you don't have to hear about how miserable your team is for the next 7 days? I was a little offended because the storyline has been how bad Aaron Rodgers is instead of how good the Detroit Lions defense was. That's offensive to me. Oh, Aaron Rodgers should have never came back. Oh, Aaron Rodgers overthrew. How about Aiden Hutchinson made a second overall pick play? And not that Aaron Rodgers is washed because we can't beat the Green Bay Packers otherwise. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How much do you agree with Mike Valenti and Rico regarding winning when it comes to the Detroit Lions? Yeah, y'all. I truly don't understand the fan base sometimes, man, and how, we wait all year. What's up, Sag? What's going on? Nate says, no, we better win this week too. Patty says, you can tell he's not really a fan of the Lions. He's never been a fan of the Lions. Hey, Grizz, some Lions fans want us to lose because they want a QB. What's up, Seg? Says, I agree. Being a winner makes all the difference. I woke up wanting to go to work the next day because we won. Elevator says, y'all weird. What? I don't think most fans wanted Detroit to lose until the start 1-5. Can the playoffs become reachable? Most people had the Lions going to the playoffs after Hard Knocks. Hey, Josh, I am one of those people. I am one of those people, and it was based off of strength of schedule. See, I am a very numerical guy. I love numbers. I don't love math. Like I'm not Rain Man or anything like that. I'm not like, E squared and pi and all that. No, I'm not algebra, all that stuff. But analytical data, all that stuff, I love it 100%. And while most people are looking for Bryce Young or Will Anderson or Will Levis or CJ Stroud or whoever else, okay, I am looking for how the Detroit Lions can make the playoffs, okay? Now, what I love, and this, listen, y'all know me. Y'all know me, man. Y'all know my history. Y'all know my story. Y'all know I'm like Amon-Ra St. Brown, bro. I got all type of chips on my shoulders. I'm talking about Frito-Lays, Ruffles. I got Hot Cheetos. I got all of them things. Mr. Poole, what's up, big dog? We just went over Mike Valenti and his take on the Lions and fan base and tanking and are you happy with the win? So y'all know I feel some type of way, right? But you know what shocked me today and yesterday as I was perusing the internet, okay, is people are actually on Twitter talking about, now remember, I've been saying this since the season started, all right? Now, Dan Campbell, you know what? Let's do this. Since the season started, that the Lions were not out of this, okay? Now, whether you believe in the NFL narrative or not, I'm not here to convince you that it is a thing. But what I will tell you is this. The 17th game, remember the players weren't too happy about it? Remember they weren't? But remember now, the collective bargaining agreement brought in a 17th game. Remember we were added, a 7th team was added. Now, remember, this stuff had to be voted on. But a 7th team was added to the playoffs. Why do you think that is? To make things more interesting, okay? Now, whether or not you believe this is going to happen or not, that is a different conversation. The conversation today is, I saw on Twitter, now remember y'all, I've been saying this forever because this is how I live. I'm not thinking about the draft at all. I'm thinking about how my team can currently turn their season around. Was it a trade? Okay. Is it benching Amani? Is it doing this or doing that? Whatever it is. Is it firing Aubrey Pleasant? Whatever the situation, I'm thinking about how my team can get better right now. Because unlike some other people, I live in the season because the season is so short. It's not long enough. It's the perfect size, but you know what I mean. We're already, do you know last night concluded week 9? We are halfway through the season. It has been 2 months since Hard Knocks went off the air, since we watched our last episode of Hard Knocks. Okay? Now, here's my point. On Twitter, I have seen people mentioning what I've been saying since the beginning of the season, and it's funny to me that the Lions are 2 games out of the last playoff spot. Okay? Did you hear what I said, y'all? Did you hear what I said? I said, look at the white shoes, look at the white shoes. The Lions are 2 games out of the last playoff spot. Whether or not you don't believe they're going to make it, that is different than the facts. And the facts after week 9 is that the Detroit Lions are 2-6. The last playoff team in the playoffs is 4-4. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers lead their division at 4-5. Okay? The Rams are not in the playoffs. The Detroit Lions at 3-6, okay, 2-6, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself, are not remotely out. We have 9 games left. And unlike some Lions fans, the same Lions fans that want us to lose, okay, I want us to win at all cost. Because I'm going to tell you what, if the Lions make a run, and that's a big if the Lions make a run and they make the playoffs, you will forget all about Bryce Young. This will be the greatest story since us winning a playoff game, starting the season 1-6 and ending in the playoff. I don't care if we get bounced out at all. If we got there, right? Now, I related this team back to the 2015 team when we started the season 1-7. We ended the season 6-2, right? We went on 2 separate 3-game winning streaks. Now, my thing is this. Joshua, you may be right. He says they're not going to the playoffs, man. You're not being honest. No, that's not what I said. So, Joshua, with all due respect, my man, when somebody misconstrues my words, I'm going to come at you. That's not what I said. I said that the Lions at 2-6 are 2 games out of the 7th seed. That is what the facts are, right? Do you know the future? You don't, right? I don't either. Nobody does. What I'm saying is what I just said, that the facts of the matter, the reality right now is that they're 2 games out. Now, if you don't want to get your hopes up, that's perfectly understandable. I'm not getting my hopes up either. We got the worst defense in the league. But what I'm saying is, what the facts are, is that the NFL, there are 5 3-win teams, okay? Now, see, this is the stuff I be talking about. When people take what I say and they make it into what they said, okay? That kind of irritates me a little bit. So I want to show y'all something as I blew up my chat to say, how in the world did I do this? Okay, there it is. Okay. So let me do this for y'all, because y'all think I'm making something up, right? Now, remember what I said. I want you to listen very carefully. I said the Lions at 2-6 are 2 games out, maybe 2.5 of the final wild card spot. Obviously, they need to win games. It all starts there. And we don't know if that's going to happen. Right? We have no clue if that's going to happen. But let me show you why I stay in the season. Now, again, I didn't say I was getting my hopes up. I said I stay in the season. Because the offseason is nothing but talk. This team has a chance to prove instead of talk. They have a chance to show instead of talk. Their actions speak louder than words. What Dan Campbell say? What are the 2022 Detroit Lions? What did Dan Campbell say? The 2000 Detroit Lions, he paused. He said they can and they will. Now, if you ain't been around me for a minute, I understand. I'm not a Kool-Aid drinker, never have been. I'm an analytical guy, right? They have a historically bad defense who allowed 9 points on Sunday, okay? All of this stuff is facts, right? But this is also a fact, okay? And I'm going to blow this up so y'all can see it. Let me make sure that you can get the whole picture. Because this is fun to me, right? Now, if it's fun to you to talk about the draft and all that stuff and Bryce Young and you want your team to lose, that's fine. That's fine. But that ain't what I'm about at all. All right, so let's do this. Now, look at this very carefully, okay? Let me blow this up so y'all can see it a bit more. We're going to go up to 200, all right? This is what the facts are. The facts are the Lions at 2-6 pick 5th in the draft. That's where they're at. I want you to watch this because this is what I do. I love this stuff. Because while most people are talking about the draft, I'm talking about winning. I'm talking about going on a run because anything is possible. Because the season is full of parity. Because there are 5 3-win teams. Now let's do this, right? The Lions play the Bears. The Bears can drop to 3-7. The Cardinals play the Rams. You know what the Rams are? The Rams are 3-6. Oh, what do you know? The Cardinals are 3-6. One of these, the Rams are 3-5. One of these teams will lose, obviously, on Sunday, right? The Packers play the Dallas Cowboys at AT&T. What do you know? They're 3-7. The Saints played yesterday. They're 3-6. This, my friends, is the final playoff spot. What's the difference, y'all? 2 games. Our team is miserable at 2-6. But, well, gosh, look at these teams. They're miserable too. Look at this, the Super Bowl champions. What do you know? What do you know? I'm not saying they're going to make the playoffs. I'm not saying anything like that. What I'm saying is that there are 5 3-win teams. What I'm saying is that if the Lions win a game against the Chicago Bears, they're now 3-6, 3-7. They could be 3-7. They could be 3-7. That's what I'm saying. The stats and the facts show that the Lions at 2-6 are not out of this. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. How much? You know what? I'm going to leave that up there. Let me hear what y'all saying. Because I had to go through that segment. Where we at? A lot of Lions fans are hoping things stay where they are. He said, we have a chance. Don't even try. Trust me, we won't. We won't forget Bryce. That's not what I'm saying. SOL's fans want to keep losing. Rodrigo got hurt. He did. I don't know what the update is on that. Kirby might not play. Kirby was in concussion protocol. Dan said yesterday that he's right where St. Brown was. But I don't think St. Brown was left out because of concussion protocol. He passed it. I think it was his ankle. Rodgers just said that basically Detroit didn't do anything special on defense to beat them. He's saying Green Bay gave it to them essentially. Well, he can shut his Mars attack head. I can't. Y'all see what I'm saying? Y'all see what I hate? Oof. I can't stand this man. I do not like him at all. At all. Craig says, let's make a run. Dave says, if you came to talk about tanking, then you came to the wrong channel. That's facts. That's fact. That is stupid to me. Lions fans are like, I hate this team, sucks, and then they say, let's tank for then get better next year. Let me ask y'all a question. Okay, but Joshua, there is a difference than getting false hope and speaking facts, right? Do you hear false hope in my voice? No, you don't. You don't hear false hope. You hear me speaking facts, right? The facts are there are 9 games left. The facts are the Lions are 2.5 games out of the last spot. That's what the facts are. The facts are not that the Lions are going to make the playoffs. The facts are not that we can predict which team will win the Super Bowl. Okay? That's what I'm just stating the facts, bro. I am not a Kool-Aid peddler. Trust me. Anything I tell y'all is not based on the Kool-Aid. I don't do that. I don't do that. As a YouTube personality, I'm going to give you my opinion, but I'm going to base it on, it's going to be some emotion sometimes, but I'm never going to try to lead you down a path that's false. Joshua says, look, I don't mind them winning. I just don't hear no crying when they played themselves out of a top 10 pick. Josh, you won't hear that from me. You will not hear that from me at all. I was ecstatic that we beat the Green Bay Packers last year. I was looking at that Jaguars game. You know why? Because I was scared to death we weren't going to get Aiden Hutchinson. And when we won and the Jacksonville Jaguars did the unthinkable and they won and we won, right? I was like, dang, well, there that goes. When we got Jeff Okudah instead of Chase Young, it was tough. But I would prefer to win. See, I'm going to tell y'all something. And this for my older folks, right? This for the people that are, I don't know, I think you got to be a good 25, 30 years old. And we talked about this last year. All right? Y'all don't know. Listen, if you set through the 2008 season, you will understand what I'm talking about. If you set through, and I keep saying this, man, every single show, if you set through the blackouts, if you set through hoping that your team won and you had to watch it on dial-up internet, you had to watch ESPN, you had to watch the ticker, because in the NFL, the first time in NFL history of a 16-game season, our team was the first to do it. The first to do it. I don't understand at all costs. And guess who we got after we didn't win a single game? Super Bowl champion quarterback, Matthew Stafford. I'm going to say it again. The Detroit Lions didn't win a single game in 2008. You could call it tanking if you want to. They got Super Bowl winning champion quarterback Matthew Stafford with the first pick in the 2009 NFL draft. And what did we do? 3 playoff appearances and no wins. For the people that tank out there, that want tanking to be a real thing, what has tanking, what has losing done for this organization? I'll wait. Micah Parsons recruiting Dallas to trying to get OBJ to come to Dallas. Patty Grimes says, I think they hate Goff so much they want the Lions to lose just to get rid of him because they're jealous of his hot girlfriend. Patty, that might be facts. I don't know what people's issue is with Goff. I get the turnovers. I get all that. I do. But you know what I did? I watched the highlights. No, Matthew Stafford was 1. Calvin Johnson was picked after he was picked number 2. Without cheating, who was the number 1 pick the year Calvin Johnson got drafted? Without cheating. I know my older folks will know. When I say older, I'm talking about people like me. I'm 43, so I'm not trying to clown. Mudbone says that's because of the way ownership decisions they made with those picks. Okay, Mudbone. True. Mike Williams took a hurt player, 10th overall, who hadn't played the year before. Nope. Nate, not saying. No, Joshua, I'm saying the same thing. What has losing got us? They got us Matthew Stafford and Calvin Johnson. Bro, you proving my point. You're proving my point, man. Nope. Not Sam Bradford. Sam Bradford was drafted in 2010. The pick after him was Ndamukong Suh. The year Calvin Johnson got drafted, Patty Grimes hit it on the head. Hit it on the head. With the first pick in the 2007 NFL Draft, the Oakland Raiders select Jamarcus Russell, quarterback. Losing also got us Joey Harrington. Proving my point even more. I don't think he's trash either. My issue, okay, Cameron says my issues with Goff is the inconsistency. When he's on, he's on. Hey, that's facts. But then he's off again. And yesterday or Sunday, he was off. Injured wide receiver core may contribute to that as well. Here's my comparison. This is what I think of Jared Goff. And this is facts. Okay, so Joshua, okay. Sometimes, I don't know, bro. How old are you? All right? How old are you? Because when people say, like, get over stuff, the only thing I think we need to get over is that the Fords ain't selling the team. If you are not going to watch until the Fords sell the team, then you ain't gonna be watching. So here's the thing about Jared Goff that I realized about him. Jared Goff is a lot like myself. If things are in disarray, I tend to I need to focus again. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell this is knowledge I tell to the internet. One thing that I realize about myself is that I need all my ducks in a row. If my ducks start to get out of a row, then I need to push them back in. Okay? I need to squeeze them back in because if they're if duck A is in the spot of duck C, then I kind of panic a little bit. I got to panic a little bit. I got to bring him, put him back in his natural place. And I think Jared Goff is like that as well. Jared Goff, he needs an ideal situation. No, Josh, we know the chemistry he has with Josh Reynolds. We saw it immediately. Josh Reynolds was not out. He was not out there. You could see it. He had chemistry with T.J. Hockenson. T.J. Hockenson got traded. You could see the effect, right? Jared Goff, I said this in last week's show, or it was either last week or the post game, that Jared Goff needs, he's like the trust fall guy. He's the dude falling into the arms of someone he trusts. Because if he don't trust you, he gonna show it. And I think that's something that really kind of hinders him as a player. Joshua says John Kitna, my favorite Lions QB. I think John Kitna, man, he was like Stafford before he was Stafford, meaning that John Kitna was tough. I remember when he came from the Bengals. I was like, who is this dude? And John Kitna, he had heart, man. He had some skill as well, but John Kitna used to take a beating, and then he broke his back, and that was it. Dave says, hey, Grid, I have a question. If you didn't know about the picks from the Rams, do you think it was a bad thing that we let Stafford pick what team he wanted to go? You know what, David? That's a good point. I don't think it was. I thought that he might have gone to the Colts. And look what happened with the Colts because they didn't have a quarterback. TJ was fired this past weekend. Yes, he didn't score any touchdowns, but he had like 8 catches for 70-something yards. he did ball out. So kudos to TJ, man. Long as he ain't playing us, kudos to him. But I'm thinking about winning. That's what I want to do. I want to win games. And I don't think that is anything better than winning games. Jesse says, I'm 41 and I've been a fan since 89, so I know about the pain of losing and I want to win. Jesse, that's what I'm talking about, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Grit. James, what's up, man? No, James, I'm at the crib, bro. I'm at the crib. I think my place is here. My place is here. Rodgers is literally referring to himself as the reigning defending MVP. Wow. I think the moon just got... Hey, Mr. Poole, is he on? Is he in a press conference or something? But I don't think we lost the trade with Matthew Stafford. I don't think letting him pick where he wanted to go was a bad thing either. I think we took a deal where we got the best compensation. And to me, oh, Lord. Okay, I can't bring that show in because they curse up a storm, so I can't bring that in. I try not to have cursing on, but sometimes it happens like in today's show. But I don't think it was a bad idea to let Stafford pick where he wanted to go because it was a win-win. We got 2 picks, 2 first-round picks. He won a Super Bowl, and that's a win-win for both. You know what, Mr. Poole? I will try. If McAfee puts that as a clip, which I think he usually does, I'll try to watch that. I really don't watch his show, man. Yeah. That man, this dude, I cannot stand him. Oh my God. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the next segment, which might be our last one. Now, I'm gonna be real. All right, I'm gonna be real. Okay, talking about this man is great for my channel. Him getting drafted was the most exciting thing to happen to our organization in a long time. But I'm getting a little sick of waiting. Now, obviously, I want him to be healthy, and we just made a video about this guy last week, literally one of my last segments. But Dan Campbell comes out today and says that Jameson Williams, again, he assures us that he's going to play this year, all right? And he says that it's probably going to be this year. We knew that. But what we didn't know is when. And according to Dan Campbell, he told 97 won the ticket. He said, I quote, I think we're looking at December. So now we have an actual month. Last time we talked about this, he said it was a month away. If I'm trying to forecast here a little bit, I'm hoping for sometime in December we'll get him. End quote. He continues to say, quote, I don't forecast that being an issue. I think when he can go, I think it'll be good for him to go. He needs some in-game experience, even if it's only for a couple of games, 2 or 3 games. I think those are critical to get under his belt before next year, if you can do it, end quote. So everyone that is saying he's not going to play, according to Dan Campbell, he is. Now, I made a prediction last week about it being December 4th. Because before, Dan Campbell said about a month away. Mudbone says, I get wanting to see Jamo play this year, but I probably just leave him out for the season. Jesse says, hey, Grid, we should just redshirt him until next year. Mr. Poole says there's no way Jamo is not playing. I agree 100%. I think you would have to lock this young man up in chains and literally chain him to the locker room to keep him out of playing this year. And I can't wait to see him. Y'all know I wasn't fond of the pick because of the defense situation that our team was in. But it was the pick, and I'll take it. Because watching Chris Olave, watching Jalen Waddle, even though he was last year, watching Devonta Smith, watching these rookie and sophomore receivers do their thing, it makes you wonder, he got hurt, right? If he doesn't get hurt, he's not on our team. If Brad Holmes, if he doesn't get hurt, there's no way Brad Holmes can trade up to get him. Too much capital. All right? So getting hurt put him on the Detroit Lions. But when will we get to see him? I think that this team has a lot left. Lot left. Defense played inspired last week, and we can get, if they can contain Justin Fields, we can win that game. Jesse says, I remember that, and you was hot about the pick. Jesse, I was hot about the pick because I predicted, and I think everyone knew that our defense was going to be bad, but nobody thought it was going to be 32nd bad. Like, you can't drop any lower bad. Cameron says, Jamo needs in-game reps, plus the fans need that kind of morale boost. Cam, that's a fact, bro. I like that comment. David says, I only asked because he could have had Teddy Bridgewater instead of Goff in the draft. We could have had Sewell over Parsons in the same draft. Bears, playing the Bears in Chicago will be tough. I don't know if we'll win this one. Hey, I hope I'm wrong. Well, I'll tell you what. It's possible. 100%. But Dan Campbell says that Jameson Williams needs to get some in-game experience before next year. Because Jameson Williams ain't playing during the preseason. You're not going to play him in the preseason. That's not happening. But will he play this year? It seems like it's the song that never ends. It's over. Will he play? Do you want him to play? Will he play this year? Should he play this year? What if he gets hurt? I'll say this. And I might sound a little callous. All right, but I'm not trying to be funny or mean or anything like that, right? But I broke my femur, okay, when I was 6 years old. I broke it the same femur again when I was 14. They were 2 inches apart from each other, the breaks. The doctor said that break 1 had nothing to do with break 2. So why did I bring my injury up? It's because Jameson Williams plays the game of football. Is it possible that his injury, if not healed properly, can be re-aggravated if he gets out there? 100%. Hopefully, the doctors are on it, which it seems like they are, to not let this man go out and have that chance, right? But he plays the game of football. It's a contact sport. He could get hurt, same knee, same injury, different injury, and be out. But that's what he does. He plays the game of football. So I'm not saying put Jameson Williams out before he's ready. I'm saying in this league, injury is 100%. The injury rate is 100. 100. Mr. Poole says, apparently J-Mo was chirping at Alexander after he threw St. Brown out of bounds when he got up. Yes, we saw that. And Mr. Poole, I was talking about that during my live stream. He had on like 5 chains. He came up, and it looked like he was about to square up. I was like, okay, Jay. I love to see that. Patty says December 4th is versus Jacksonville. Well, see, now I'm a little bit leery. But you know what? Because I'm tired of changing my prediction, I'm going to stick with the 4th. The issue is Dan Campbell's statement today, and also the fact that it's going to be 2 to 3 games after he gets released to practice. And I think that's what the problem is. They want this man to play in 2022, but the moment that they send him back to practice, they have 3 weeks. 3 weeks. If he doesn't get released in the next 10 days, he's not going to play December. The way Dan Campbell is making it seem, we might see him the last 3 games of the season. So let me know what you think. Do you think Jameson Williams will play at all this year? I know we keep doing these segments, but it keeps coming up. Okay, we got Judah in the building. What's up, man? I was doing a segment, so I couldn't really address what's going on. But what's up? What's up, dude? listen, we need to win. We need to contain your quarterback. We need to contain Claypool, Mooney. We're going to have our work ahead of us, and we have no talent to stop. If we don't have, like, the perfect game plan, we're not going to be able to stop Justin Fields. We can't. If they get in a wild card spot, absolutely. Okay, so Mania says, I think the bigger storyline will be when Deshaun Watson make his debut in Week 11. Is it Week 11? I thought it was Week 12, man. It's Week 11? Because his first game is against his old team. And you better believe that the Lions, that the NFL did that on purpose. Okay, Joshua says, we have a better chance of winning when D Swift and the defense show up. Jamo would help the offense, but run much better when Swift plays. I agree. And I also agree we missed TJ Hockenson. It's Week 13 against Houston. Yeah. Okay, I knew it was because he got to spend, it's an 11-game suspension, right? But it's Week 13 because of the bye week. Is that right? Enjoy your 2-game win streak. Judah, we only have a 1-game. We haven't had a 2-game win streak in years. It'll be 2 if we beat the Bears. If all Fields does is run, then we might be all right. Can't carry a team with just a QB winning by just running. Yeah, but the problem is we can't stop running quarterbacks. We cannot stop quarterbacks. Okay, Joshua, bro, well, I don't understand. It seems like you're here. Of course we missed TJ Hockenson. To me, that's a dumb comment, bro. If you look at the offense when it started, we missed 100% TJ Hockenson. Even though he didn't have a bunch of yards, the offense went through him. No, Judah, we haven't won 2 in a row in a long time, bro. It's been years since we won 2 in a row. It's been a long time. Matter of fact, let me see. The last time we won 2 in a row. D Swift made the biggest difference. Yeah, it's been a minute. But hopefully it can come this week. But yeah, man, so listen. Let me know in the comments below, man, when you watch this on playback. Do you believe in tanking? Is tanking the right thing? Swift looked good on Sunday. He looked okay. He looked okay, man. And do you think that the Lions are babying him? Do you think the Lions are babying DeAndre Swift? You know, let's do that. We'll do that. All right, so unless this is about Swift, I probably will not address the comment section. All right, so we'll conclude with this last segment here. And this is just something I thought of due to somebody in the comment section. Do you think that the Detroit Lions, we talked about Jameson Williams and the fact that Jameson wants to play. He wants to play. However, he's not going to play for the foreseeable future. Every time Dan Campbell talks about it, it's further and further, right? And I think that he's okay. I really do, but I'm not a doctor. But when it comes to DeAndre Swift, we heard Dan Campbell say after the game against the Miami Dolphins that DeAndre Swift probably carried the ball one too many times. Now, he had 5 carries. 5 carries for 6 yards. So was he supposed to carry 4? We know that DeAndre Swift is a playmaker. He's on the cusp of game-changing, but he's not there yet. But do you think that the Lions are being a little too babyish when it comes to DeAndre Swift? Now, I hate talking about this because these dudes get hit for a living. I couldn't imagine if I had a guy 241 pounds landing on me with all of his weight and speed. But the thing about it is, this is the game. This is the game. You have to be able to absorb that type of energy, right? But the Lions seem to be slowly working DeAndre Swift back. And we see from him being on the field that he is a difference maker. I think he's on the verge of being a game changer. Lions Mania says They are being conservative with Swift, that's all. Patty says, run Swift until he says uncle. They're not babying Swift. It's just he tried to do too much. He's not Superman, and he needs to stay healthy. So David is saying, basically, that they're saving him from himself. Cameron says he got hurt week 1 and continued to play. And then it got worse, and he also hurt his shoulder. Again, it's hard to say. I'm not sure Swift wants to be out there like that again either. Okay. So that means that he's not fully healed, right? Now, DeAndre Swift is a playmaker on the verge of game changer. But you know who I saw step up big time? Justin Jackson. It seems like we don't use him enough. I know Craig Reynolds got hurt on Sunday. I don't know the severity of his injury, but he did get hurt. We don't use Justin Jackson enough. Jamar Jefferson, I don't even know if he's been out there. But maybe Swift, they think Swift does enough to keep him, to let him play. In hindsight, would you have drafted Justin? I read that. I wasn't supposed to read that. Hold on, Patty. All right, Patty says, in hindsight, would you have drafted Justin Fields over Penei Sewell? Nope. I have one hindsight move in the last 5 years. Okay? Justin Herbert was taken 6th. And we chose not to take him. We took Jeff Okudah. It was the number 4th draft pick. Nobody remembers who he is. I'm sure he might be doing something. I don't know. I don't remember who it is. It was Burrow, Young, Okudah, 4th draft pick. It was Tua Tagovailoa and Justin Herbert. I would have taken Justin Herbert. That's my one hindsight move that I would have made. Could you imagine had we had Justin Herbert? We probably don't get the same haul for Matthew Stafford, but we could have. Even if we don't get the same haul, Justin Herbert, DeAndre Swift, which was taken in the same draft. Ooh-wee. Man, 2 offensive weapons like that? What's up, D. Reese? That would have been fire. And Justin Herbert is a dog. He not dual threat, but he mobile. He is definitely the real deal. He got a little Stafford in him, too, playing hurt. Ribs got caved in, still playing. Still threw a 4th down and 20. Balling. So as we wrap up the show, hey, D. Reese, we about to get off, bro. But we talked about Mike Valenti and 97 won a ticket, saying that fans were upset that we won a game. We talked about Jameson Williams. You know, it's like musical chairs. When is he coming back? If he's coming back this year. We talked about a lot of stuff, man. So catch it on playback, or you can wait for the chop-ups to come out in about an hour. But listen, we'll conclude by saying this. We'll be on tomorrow, and we'll have a Friday show due to the lack of no show yesterday. I will be on camera very soon, working on doing that, trying to add some new segments, bringing in audio and stuff like that from different coaches and things like that. Patrick comes in at the very end and says, I don't think we see Jameson. Well, you know what, T-Stay Code? I think we do, bro. And I was saying this, that I understand people want to protect him, right? But let me ask y'all this about Jameson Williams. What would you say? Because I can see it now, all right? I can see it now. Patty says Andrew Thomas of the New York Giants. I told you. Nobody knew who the 4th pick was. Now, right now, Jameson Williams is, we want to put him on a shelf like a porcelain doll. We want to protect him, right? That's what we want to do. However, what would you say If he comes back next year, God forbid, and he gets hurt, now you're going to want to use the word bust, right? The reality is this is a violent sport, gladiatorial, if you will. These guys are hitting each other at full speed, and I don't know how they do it. It must have somebody. I remember one NFL player said it's a little crazy in all of us because you got to be crazy to play this game, right? Jameson Williams is in the game of football by choice, and he's good at it too. I don't want the man to get hurt, but it's the game of football. Hurting is what happens. Injuries happen. If he's going to get hurt, he's going to get hurt. It's part of the game. We need to see what he can do this year. Lions Mania, I think Dan Campbell feels the same way. And listen, Jameson Williams, you're going to have to hold him back. Adrian says some are unnecessary. That's facts. And those are unfortunate. And they happen too. But you know what, Adrian? The Lions never stopped us. Okay, you know what, Mr. Poole, you had to do it. You had to do it. Okay. All right. We were going to wrap up the show, but we got to do one segment. One last segment, okay? Mr. Big Head Mars Attack Aaron Rodgers. And Lions fans, this is what I'm talking about. If you want to lose games, then shame on you. Because even when we win, we lose. Big Head Mars Attack Aaron Rodgers. I'm not talking about his actual head. I'm talking about his helmet that he wears looks like Mars Attack. Is he an alien from Mars Attack? Does he know Jack Nicholson, or is he Aaron Rodgers? Listen, Aaron Rodgers needs to shut his mouth. Detroit Lions fans, you want to tank. Is this what you want this quarterback to keep saying about you? About your team? They didn't beat us. We gave them the game. Is that why you pouting like Caillou? I'm just a kid who's 4. Each day I throw some more. I like throwing interceptions. I'm Aaron. Come on, man. Come on, man. Why this man needs to shut his mouth. Coming from Twitter. Hey, Mr. Poole, is this clean, bro? Can I bring this in? I need to know. Aaron Rodgers. I really don't think the Lions stopped us. It was more about us making mistakes. How about them 3 picks? About us making mistakes? Who's the one that threw the 3 interceptions? You did. And we ready to bury Jared Goff over 1. I think I can listen to it, Mr. Poole. Because Pat McAfee be going crazy. Coming from Mars Attack, I don't think the Lions really stopped us. It was more about us making mistakes. And that's what y'all want. Michael says Rodgers is garbage, looking for excuses every week. That's trash, bro. I really need to hear this clip because I want to play it. But I think that sums it up in a nutshell. So the Lions didn't beat us. We beat ourselves. Now, just for the record, Dan Campbell has owned up to 2 losses. He said in yesterday's conference, appreciate that, Ty. He said in yesterday's press conference that we should have at least 2 more wins. And we all know what they are. Minnesota and probably the Dallas game, maybe Seattle. Probably Seattle. But Aaron Rodgers he can't be humble. He cannot be humble. The Green Bay Packers are not winning the division and probably won't for the first time in a long time. Okay, thank you, Mr. Poole. Let me bring this nonsense in. Let's hear what Big Head Mars Attack had to say. This is coming from...
Hey, I'm curious about Detroit's defense. Now, I think we talked about it before you guys played them, how what they'd shown on film so far this year was not that great. And then they obviously come back and they play great against you guys. Did they do anything different? I doubt they could change everything.
Look, no disrespect, but did they play great? I mean, they had,
Excuse me. But everybody knows when you start off by saying no disrespect, what does that mean, Keith? That means you're about to be disrespectful. Everyone knows when you start a no offense or no disrespect, you about to say something disrespectful. Let's run it back.
Hey, I'm curious about Detroit's defense. Now, I think we talked about it before you guys played them, how what they'd shown on film so far this year was not that great. And then they obviously come back and they play great against you guys. Did they do anything different? I doubt they could change everything.
Look, no disrespect, but did they play great? I mean, we had 400 yards offense on them, moved the ball up and down the field. I threw an interception off the helmet. I threw an interception about 5 yards short of Dave. I mean, it wasn't like, I didn't play a great game. We still made a lot of mental mistakes. But I don't think they really stopped us. We had 3 possessions in the first half and went up and down the field. It's more about us, I think, than them.
Okay, really appreciate what you just said. Got a pretty good pop out of me there. All right, let's not overreact here. Okay, still we're able to move the ball just because we weren't able to put some things away.
All right. Okay, now listen. I'm about to pop off, bro. If you want to tank, get out of my chat. Don't ever come back and see me. This is what we get. They laughing at us. And you talking about losing. It's about the mistakes that we made. You have got to be kidding me. They didn't really beat us, and Pat McAfee sitting there snickering like a little girl. He's laughing. And y'all talking about, I'm telling you, man, this is why we win games. Because even when we win, they try to take it from us. Even when we win, they try to take it from us. It's about what they didn't do. I'm sorry, y'all. You need to see his face. You need to see his face. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring in this. And the audio is going to be a little bit off. Thank you, Mr. Poole. I'm going to bring this clip in. And I want you to see his face. I want you to see when you're talking about losing, when you're talking about tanking, when you're talking about being a loser, I want you to see this man's face. The audio will not be synced up, but I want you to see. Hold on. Let me do this. This stuff gets me emotional, bro. It gets me emotional because I hate losing. I don't like to do it. Look at this dude's face. Look at this guy's face right here, okay? I want you to watch his face. And when you're talking about tanking and losing because we're going to get better, I want you to think about this clip. Apollo Creed, Rocky 3. Come on, Rock, what are you doing? We'll get him tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. This. All right. This is, watch this guy's face.
Hey, I'm curious about Detroit's defense. Now, I think we talked about it before you guys played them, how what they'd shown on film so far this year was not that great. And then they obviously come back and they play great against you guys. Did they do anything different? I doubt they could change everything.
Look, no disrespect, but did they play great? I mean, we had 400 yards offense on them, moved the ball up and down the field. I threw an interception off the helmet. I threw an interception about 5 yards short of Dave. I mean, it wasn't like, I didn't play a great game. We still made a lot of mental mistakes. But I don't think they really stopped us. We had 3 possessions in the first half and went up and down the field. It's more about us, I think, than them.
Okay, really appreciate what you just said. Got a pretty good pop out of me there. All right, let's not overreact here. Okay, still we're able to move the ball just because we weren't able to put some things away.
And that's what you get. That's what you get, Lions fans. You get that big-headed fool talking about it's more about us than it was about them. Cameron says, we do have to be honest and admit that they beat us in the stats. It doesn't matter. Cameron, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Nobody's talking about, he's talking about that. That's what he's talking about. We won the game. We made the play that counted. Now, I'm not coming at you, bro, but we won the game. Because at the end of the day, that is what matters. The final score. Whether it's 15-9 or 5-4. We won the game. We stopped him when it counted. But he took that away from us because of what he didn't do. I'm sorry, y'all. I will have none of it. None. All right, listen. Shout out to Mr. Poole, bro. And I'll just wrap up saying this. I can't, y'all. I cannot be a loser. Losing sucks. Period. You know what we did? Everybody, the reigning, defending MVP. So you know what? The big head, that's double. That has a double meaning. Big head Mars attack. His head is big and his helmet is big. And I said this to y'all. If you can't keep Olivia Munn, Danica Patrick, and Shania Woodley, something is wrong with you. Period. You couldn't keep none of them? Something's wrong with you. All right. Let me get off, man, before I get canceled. But listen, I don't want to hear it, man. I don't want to hear it. Don't you come in my chat with some nonsense about tanking. I will not stand for it at all. Yeah, Adrian. Listen, we talked about this in 2019, that the Lions could win. For the Lions to get any type of respect, we have to win back-to-back titles. We can win a playoff game, they'll laugh at us. Y'all just, man, that really kind of got me, bro. That really kind of got me. But did you see his face, though? Did you see his face? Hold on. Because I want to show y'all. Okay. This is his face when A.J. Dillon, his former, not A.J. Dillon, A.J. Hawk, I'm thinking of his current running back. When his former teammate puts him on blast, that is his face when he's asking him about the defense. This is Aaron Rodgers' face. You know what this face? You know what this face is? That face is a child, please. Y'all know what that, child, please. They didn't beat us. We beat ourselves. All right, and I'm going to leave you with that image. When this stream stops, Lions fans who want to tank, this is the last image you're going to see, is this image right here. Child, please. They didn't beat us. We beat ourselves. They're not that good. And y'all want to tank so that big head fools like him can keep talking about us. Y'all want to tank so that the reigning, defending MVP can have the child please face on his face. Y'all have a good day.